All right, it is finally here, the moment we have all been waiting for. Tulsi gives her official video response to the Hillary Clinton Russiagate, Russian asset beef. All right, let's talk about it. All right, so Tulsi has finally released an official campaign video responding to Hillary Clinton. Now, this is different than any of the interviews you may have seen. She goes into a little bit more detail here and shares why she believes this is taking place. Let's go ahead and check it out.
People warned me in 2016 that my endorsement of Bernie Sanders would be the end of my quote-unquote political career. They said Clinton will never forget that she and her rich and powerful friends, her allies in politics and in the media, will make sure that you are destroyed. Well, there have been countless hit pieces full of smears against me from day one of this campaign. They've tried to destroy my reputation and my lifetime of service because I stood up to them. I've spent over 16 years of my life proudly serving in the Army National Guard. I still serve as a major today. I volunteered to deploy to the Middle East twice. I've served in Congress now for nearly 7 years, serving on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Armed Services Committee, the Homeland Security Committee, and I am not afraid to openly express my love for our country. But if they can falsely portray me as a traitor, then they can do it to anyone. And in fact, that's exactly the message that they want to get across to you. That if you stand up against Hillary and the party power brokers, if you stand up to the rich and powerful elite and the war machine, they will destroy you and discredit your message. But here is the truth. They will not intimidate us. They will not silence us. We are not here just to protest their corruption. I am running for president to take the Democratic Party and our country back from the corrupt elite. I'm running for president to bring about a new Democratic Party and new leadership that will fight for peace, fight for the people, and protect our planet. So I want to ask every single one of you to join me in speaking truth to power. Don't be afraid. Let's root out the corruption in our party and our country. Join me to end the war machine's stranglehold over our leaders and ensure that our government is truly of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Let me just say that I am incredibly impressed at Tulsi's ability to take the high road here. Now, although Tulsi has obviously not been shy about defending herself at all, nor has she been shy about calling Hillary Clinton exactly what she is. I think there is a fine line between defending yourself, standing up for the people, calling, politicians or warmongers or your opposition exactly what they are, but doing it in a way that's classy and productive. And I believe that Tulsi, not only with her tweet, but with this video as well, has demonstrated just that she knows where she stands. She has, she wants everybody to know we know exactly what who Hillary Clinton is, and the credibility or lack thereof behind the accusations of Hillary Clinton, considering her own personal record. But also, she doesn't take any low blows. And trust me, there are plenty of low blows to make against Hillary Clinton. In fact, I've become somewhat of a connoisseur of low blows when it comes to Hillary Clinton. We're not going to get into that right now. We're going to talk about what she talked about. Now, she says that she was warned by certain people that if she stands up to Hillary Clinton, then she will absolutely regret it. Now, Robbie Yeager, who is a member of the MCSC network, he is a writer and a researcher, and he contributes to a lot of the things that we research. He broke the news that UTA and CAA, two agencies, have clients, because their specialty is, if you don't know, the specialty of UTA and CAA is to take the blend of pop culture entertainment and political, especially because it's been increased popularity. So they take pop culture entertainment and give them opportunities to get on political shows, and then they give politicians, political consultants, etc., opportunities to get on pop culture shows and be part of the pop culture world. So the head of these two organizations, one stemming from another, by the way, they sent out an email to Tulsi in 2016 saying that not only were they going to defund her completely, which Tulsi probably expected, they made it very clear that they were going to, quote unquote, bring the hammer down on her. You understand what that means. Now, this isn't just a couple of people that fall under this umbrella of CAA and UTA. This is people like Anderson Cooper, Anna Navarro, Anna Kasparian, Cenk Uygur, Charlemagne the God, who endorsed Kamala, who's also part of this organization. I mean, the list is extensive. Joe Biden is represented by them. Alyssa Milano is represented by them. Now you know why she went into damage control for Joe Biden's brand. When I say the list is extensive, I mean that. Oh, Cory Booker as well. Elizabeth Warren was invited to one of their weddings, and I can't remember the guy's name, but Warren was invited, but I don't think she showed up. But she was supposed to go. So imagine that many. I mean, all those people are what? Clinton camp in one form or another, and they're part of the largest, they control the largest share of information consumption. When we're talking about between the internet and the mainstream, that's a lot. And all these people were told, you're going to destroy Hillary or Tulsi Gabbard. And they're acting accordingly. Charlemagne the God was the one who accidentally exposed Kamala Harris lying about smoking weed on Breakfast Club, and yet and still he somehow came out to defend her when he caught her lying. When he should have gave her donkey of the damn day, which is what he normally does in that situation. So usually, anyway, you're supposed to require proof before you believe anything. Anything you hear, especially something like that, you're supposed to require proof. But of course, that's not how politics works, right? You allege first and you sort out the details later. Well, we should take into account the credibility of the people who are making these claims, which all fall under that big UTA CAA agency umbrella, who's become dedicated, and they made a proclamation of this dedication. Okay, they literally made a thing about it. They were going to destroy Tulsi Gabbard. And by the way, once again, that just solidifies my support. You're telling me that because she stood up to your queen, that's why you're going to attack her? Oh, for real? That's all I need to know. That's the person I'm supposed to be supporting then. Because that's what they are always afraid of, fighters. So, what's also interesting, and I love how Tulsi breaks down her record, right? Armed Services Committee, Foreign Affairs Committee, former vice chairman of the Democratic National Committee. Excuse me, but was she a Russian asset when she was doing all that? So you're telling me you have a quote unquote Russian asset involved in some of the most important positions in the country. I mean, she's already a congresswoman. Like, that's already a big deal. You have a quote unquote Russian asset who's a major in the Army National Guard, and we're just going to casually pretend like that doesn't mean. I mean, if that's the case, shouldn't you be investigating her or something? Shouldn't this be like a thing? Shouldn't she be testifying or something like that? No, because it's not true. There is no merit to it. And if you understood what it takes to get a top secret security clearance, which is what it would likely require to be on a Homeland Security Committee, then you would know that suggesting that Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian asset and somehow working to the benefit of Vladimir Putin in Russia, you would know that that is absurd. That is absolute. She was literally on the Department of Homeland Security. Okay, so, but I love her main point. They are standing up, or they're attacking her in unison because they are afraid of her. They are attacking her in unison because, well, peace is bad for business. I don't know if y'all know that. They are attacking her in unison because, as we have seen, Tulsi is she's all about her aloha, right? She's all about her aloha. She's all about her unity. But make no mistake about it, Tulsi is about accountability. And you think that if there's a secret the American people need to know, if there's a scam that the American people need to know about, that she has the power to bring to light, she will absolutely bring it to light. And if you've ever watched her town halls, there's not a person, by the time you finish listening to her speak, there's not a question you feel like you can't ask to her. Because if she knows the answer, she'll tell you. If she doesn't know the answer, she'll say, I'll do more research on that. I need to study that a little bit more. And guess what? She'll study it. And the next, you can only catch her off guard maybe twice. And the next time, she'll have the answer you need. Understand, what they're really afraid of is the woman who, when everything was being handed to her, just shut up, play ball, you will be a president. That's all. Just shut up and play ball. She was like, nah, I'm good. Now, given her prestigious career, given her prestigious titles right now, she's an esteemed congresswoman. She's a major in the National Guard who just got back from deployment, by the way. If they can smear her like that, they can smear any of us like that. And that's why it is important that we all speak up and defend Tulsi. If they can smear her like that, they can and they will and they have smeared Bernie Sanders. If they can smear her like that, they can, they will smear, and they have, of course, Jill Stein. I mean, look at what they're doing to the President of the United States. Granted, Trump doesn't really deserve all that much sympathy. But my issues with his policies does not make me deranged enough to pretend like this man, first of all, like you want me to pretend like this man is smart enough to had hatched a master plan a year or so before he even announced to work with Russia to get him elected to the most powerful position in the world, specifically to spite Hillary Clinton, who just got Russia 20% of the United States nuclear uranium and lifted sanctions on Russia the moment that Bill Clinton took $500,000 on his visit. If you want to look at it logically, Russia could have gained more from Hillary than it could have from Donald Trump, especially considering her chief of staff had 50,000 shares in Juul, the largest Kremlin-backed energy company at the time. But once again, they can do that to Trump. They can do it to you. He's a president. Whether or not you like it, he's a president, and they can do it to him. This is historic. This is the norm. If they could do it to Henry Wallace, they can do it to you. If they could do it to MLK, Martin Luther King, they can do it to you. If they could do it to Malcolm X, they can do it to you. If they could do it to Angela Davis, they can do it to you. If they could do it to the Black Panthers, they can do it to you. You know what? They just declared, not just declared, it was a while ago, maybe 20 plus, actually 25 plus years ago. I don't know if y'all know this, but they were declaring climate activism organizations domestic terrorists and putting them on no-fly lists. Did you know that? Kids were disallowed from being able to fly on planes. They can do it to them. They can do it to you. I don't want to hear your excuses about strategy. I don't want to hear it. Like it's old, it's done, it's tired. It's nothing but an excuse. Because once again, as I said in my earlier video, it's a dumb strategy. If you think that being silent when just from a strategic point, Hillary's the most hated politician in the damn country. I don't know if y'all know that. You think Trump is, but that can't be possible because Trump won. Hillary is so awful that people went to fill out ballots and just say, you know what? I'm not even going to fill out the president. I'll fill out everything else, but I ain't filling out the presidency. That's how bad it was. There's nothing to lose from speaking out about this. I'm glad that Tulsi explained the real reason, the history behind all this in this video, because I don't think a lot of people who may have just started following Tulsi, they may not know the history. But Tulsi is being attacked, at least initially, because she dropped the DNC, dropped Hillary, called them what they are, and campaigned for Bernie Sanders. She's being attacked still because from that point forward, not only did she just endorse Bernie Sanders, she evolved in every single way. Ways that no other candidate in this race has. But make no mistake about it, her heart was always in the right place. And she was always a powerhouse. That's why she was a vice chairwoman. That's why she spoke at the convention in 2012? She spoke at the 2012 National Convention. Was she a Russian asset back then or not? Nah, I didn't think so. Tulsi is being attacked because she's a fighter. But she's not fighting for their team. And that's what they don't like. And it isn't like she can just expose their domestic corruption. That's the biggest difference between her and anybody else. It isn't just that she can expose their domestic corruption. It's that she can expose the foreign policy establishment. The foreign policy establishment that was created after 20,000 billionaires and millionaires were made after World War I. The same foreign policy establishment that was cultivated by those like Prescott Bush, George W. Bush's grandfather, who eventually had a slew of warmongering sons. Isn't that nice? Because regime change war has been a policy since basically the end of World War I. Even World War I. World War I was a regime change war. A lot of people don't know that. That's a different discussion for a different day. Way too in depth. Whew, Lord baby Jesus. Y'all don't even know. But these are the things that Tulsi Gabbard wants to address at a substantive level. Think about it. If Tulsi gets into the White House, you think that the John F. Kennedy files will continue to be classified? Little things like that is why they don't want her to win. You got to think about that. There are things that you don't even think about that she would have a profound impact on. And that's why she needs to win. I appreciate that video, Tulsi. Thank you very much for addressing it. For everybody else, like, share, subscribe. But always remember, more than anything else, find your balance. Peace.